Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Nivarthi Jairam, and welcome to the live session today. And today we are going to talk about the experiential learning program establishing Scrum Master that we as a group are going to kick off in a short while. And today we'll be covering everything about that particular program. And if you have any questions, you can always post on the chat and we will try and answer that for you. Stay till the end. We will be posting the nomination link to the program right at the end. And if you have joined us or live, please say hi wherever you are, LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. And we would definitely like to know from where you are joining. So before we get started with the program details, maybe we can have a quick introduction about our organizing members here. Who likes to go first?
I can go
Sure.
first.
Vishal,
Okay,
Sure.
go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
okay. Hey, hello everyone. This is Vihal here. I
Vihal.
am actually working as a Scrum Master for Tenerity, and I have been part of this program for some time, collaborating with Nivarti and Rohan. And yeah, it has been a good experience so far. In terms of learning, in terms of knowing about uh, all these aspects of the agile learning. So yeah, that's about me. Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Vihal. I can go next, right? So my name is Sanjay Gupta. You could see it on the screen. I have around 25 plus years experience in the industry. And I've been saying that for last couple of years. So I think it's many more than that. But then I'm just keeping that 25 years, right? Anyway, I work for Accenture and I'm an agile coach. I have been part of the industry for many years. I've played various different roles in product organization, in services organization, in consulting transformation organizations. Working within Captive, working for many organization as a consultant coach as well, right? So I bring in a variety of experience, a lot of failures, which I have learned from, and would be willing to share with you all to see that you don't repeat, right? So that's how I come in. I'm very excited to be part of this program, and I think it gives us opportunity to connect with the practitioners and share our learnings, and at the same time learn as well, right? So I think it's an opportunity for us to co-create something valuable for the community. Thanks.
thank you, Sanjay. Pleasure to have you here and practically
That's awesome.
interacted and worked with you together. It is great value for you to be part of this program. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Nivati. Thank you. Yeah.
All
Yes,
right,
yes.
so I can go next. So I'm inspired by Sanjay, because I've been failing a lot all my career, till now, and it has it has given tremendous exposure for improving continuously, right? And that's where I see this program as an opportunity to grow together, right? So yeah, so my name is Rohan Paule, and I work for Tenerity, and a part of the family, Tenerity family, with VL and Sandeep Mahajan here. I have around 2 decades of experience in the industry. I too get experience into multiple areas, like from software development to project management, program management. I had my own organization for a while, and being an agile practitioner, always love the way agile way of working, and finally chose to become an agile coach and working as an agile coach for Tenerity India. And I would love to be part of this initiative to learn together, right, and share my learning. That is the core reason I'm here. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thank
Great.
you. Welcome,
So
Rohan.
in last I would go myself, Sandeep. I have been around 15 year of IT experience, played a different roles. Recently, I joined Tenerity as a DevOps lead or DevOps manager, and thanks a lot, Nivarti, for getting me into this good initiative for the agile community. Looking forward to have a great learning from all of the participants and all of these coaches. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you all for joining us together and making it happen. So, what we are going to talk about today is establishing Scrum Master. And as a first step, what we thought again was when we were all struggling to find what name we go for, and we kind of came up with three names. One was Barefoot, sorry, Tenderfoot. The second
Wonderful.
one
Yeah.
was Basecamp, and the other one was Crutators. So just to harp a bit on those names, Tenderfoot is about beginners. So why we thought about that name? We thought, okay, we are just beginning with this experiential learning program, and we also hope to learn through the reflections and experiences from participants and our group as well. So that was one reason. Scrutators is about evangelists. So yes, we are trying to evangelize how and what Scrum Masters would do in organization. So that was another thing. And of course, Basecamp was like, okay, we are trying to lay the foundation for everyone to grow together into achieving something more. So finally, as we went through, the voting, also LinkedIn helped those who have voted. Thanks a lot for that. So finally, what we came up with as the team name based on everybody's recommendation. Here we go.
We
Wonderful.
are
So
team based camp. Yeah.
we are in Basecamp. So and we change our logo there in the top. So from everyone, so thank you for voting and thank you for helping us with finding our team name. So Basecamp is what we are. So our endeavor would be to create the foundation for everyone who is going to be part of this program to help themselves as well as organizations to achieve the peaks that they are looking for. Having said that, so let's move on. So I do have some kind of question. So when we started, Sanjay, what were the objectives we were looking for, from this program to accomplish?
That's great question, Nivarti, right? So I think we all have put our mind into it, right? And then we have kind of brainstormed it, right, ourselves, right? So when we started with, I think a lot of it came from our own experience of seeing many transformations. I think Nivarti, you have been in the industry for very long, and you've seen many. I have seen many. I mean, all of us have seen many, and we've seen that many transformations. They start with great enthusiasm, right? Organization leadership is there. There is a lot of budgeting money. All is available, right? And then leadership is excited about it. There is a transformation team that is excited about it. But then that enthusiasm lasts for only so much, right? And as we progress through first year, second year, third year of the transformation, we see that it starts fiddle out, and a lot of us go back to our old ways of doing things, right? And that has been our experience. So that is where we thought, okay, what is that which is probably a missing link, right? And if we use a metaphor of an kind of army in a war or battle, we know that it's the scrum master who's the kind of a leader of the unit on the ground, who can make or okay, who can win or lose the war, right? So we thought, okay, that person, we need to make sure that okay, that person is bringing that change aligned to the organization objective, but keeping that enthusiasm on the ground, right? And that requires that person to be coached well, right? I mean, and then that person can actually be the differentiator. I think that is what was the seed for our this program, right? I would be willing to hear from others also what else you would like to add to what I have already spoken.
Yeah.
So,
Anyone likes?
So
so as
I would just like to add to Sanjay's point that what he talked about, Scrum Master working on the ground, right? So definitely, Scrum Master is one of the roles which is at the foundational level, I would say. One of the persons who's directly working with the team. He's directly sharing all the thoughts with the team, and at the same time, he's one of the connecting links between the uh, broader organization as a whole, the leadership and the team, right? So he's establishing that kind of bridge in between. So yeah, that way, it becomes very important, the Scrum Master as a role. So yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. So if we have to outline, we started with three objectives on why we want to build competencies of Scrum Master through this particular hands-on experiential learning. One, definitely to establish themselves in the role. So most of the times when we look at many of the transformations, what we struggle with, and Sanjay, you can touch back on that and as well, is that a lot of organizations don't value Scrum Master role as much as it should be. Right? It is the binding agent for the transformation to continue and sustain and help the organization to thrive in the transformation journey. But a lot of times what we see is, okay, Scrum Master can be probably zero point 0.5 FTE or 50% allocated, or it is rotating Scrum Master, or it could be a part-time role. So not enough importance or significance is given to the role that actually is required. So that was one of the
Mm-hmm.
foundational things, and many Scrum Masters come and struggle with making their position as one it needs to be. So that comes probably from the uh, shortage of either understanding of what all the role can do and what all the role needs to fulfill for the organization, and how they kind of help the team to continuously be high performing, right? So that was another point to look at as well. So those one of the three objectives, again, to build and sustain high performing teams, to help organizations continuously evolve, because people come and go. It is a constant flow in the organization. The churn keeps happening. Then again, Scrum Master becomes the binding agent to, when the team is pushed back, when a new person joins the organization, he or she builds the team back to the same level and helps them push forward. So I think that is the key, and probably through this experience of learning and collaborating with everybody in the cohort that we are looking for, definitely I think we will be able to establish Scrum Master's value as it needs to be in the organizations.
Absolutely right. So,
Right.
I mean, a lot of times we consider that, okay, this is an education challenge also, right? Organizational leadership management needs to be educated. But at the same time, we think that it is a uh, Scrum Master leadership issue also, meaning that okay, Scrum Master, are they enabled to provide that visibility within the organization for their value, what value they are creating, right? So I think it's enabling that role also, and that enablement can happen top down from the leadership, or can happen by Scrum Master themselves by creating a value or by showcasing what is that they can bring into the organization, right? And I think we are kind of handling that second point here, right? I would like to
Absolutely.
emphasize this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. So, yeah, from that point, again, we wanted to look at how the whole, thing is outlined. So, just for everyone to be aware of the program itself. So, the outline of the sessions, we are looking at maximum of 30 people to be part of the program, not a big number, so that we are able to work, learn, explore, and evolve from here. So it's a learning process as for us as well, to see how effective we are, and then see how we can scale it up. So we are looking at a maximum collaborators around 30. We have four facilitators here. Myself, of course, Sanjay, Rohan, and Milind. Unfortunately, today he's not here. But then question might be, what are Vihal and Sandeep doing here, right? So they are our internal devil's advocates. So they are here to challenge us. They are here to help us, reflect back and push us back to say what you're doing is nonsense, or this doesn't make sense to us, coming from their experience of being Scrum Masters. So we are looking at being challenged in house, and be agile ourselves by design, so that before we go to the our cohort members, we have the right inputs to look at. Even then, we may not be perfect. At least we are making that effort.
Okay.
So Vihal and Sandeep have a very important role to play in this program, and their contributions would be immensely valued throughout. And we are
Yes.
looking at 10 sprints. Sprint duration, we are still thinking about. That should be decided by the collaborators when they join. But it would be 10 sprints, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4 week sprint. We'll see what the group that forms decides. And it would all be through case studies and scenarios, which means we are not looking to teach anybody Scrum here. Right, Sanjay, can you talk us through the other elements as well?
Absolutely, Nivarti, right? So I think our kind of our team name kind of reflects that, right? So when we talk about base camp, right? Base camp is for what? Base camp is for people to climb higher, right? They get trained, right? But then there is a there is people are already aware about basic climbing skills, right? So you don't go to base camp as a novice, right? So here we are saying that, okay, we will not teach you Scrum, right? And maybe expect that, okay, that is aware. It's an advanced experience sharing, and that experience sharing can happen through case studies by scenarios, right? So we all face different scenarios in our work, and that real life scenarios would be provided, and then conversation would happen, how people think about it. The facilitators will by their own experience guide the cohort group also, and that is where the learning would happen and the sharing also would happen. So it that is how we propose to run this program, right?
Yeah, and when we say we don't teach Scrum, we will help you to experience Scrum, because
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
will be running the sprints. So you will be part of the Scrum events. You will know how a backlog refinement happens. So you will experience Scrum and the values of the Scrum than getting taught about Scrum. So that is again the intent here. Everything should be an experience to take, because we
Okay.
remember experiences much more than what we hear. Right. So that's the intent. Yeah. And Rohan, maybe you can talk us through the last point of peer learning, collaboration, and networking.
This is the most important aspect, I think, of the workshop. We are thinking about. uh, the reflection, even a point before that, right? Discovery, reflection, and journaling. So the discovery and reflection part can be enhanced by peer learning when two people or more learn together, they share their experiences. There would be a lot of insights from each other's daily experiences, and what they see, what they feel and think into their organization, they get on the table and they share the experiences, right? So the collaborative learning part is one of the most important aspect, I think, of the workshop, which is the best thing. Then someone teaching you Scrum or telling you about the scenarios. I think the peer learning experiences is come here and experience Scrum, right, yourself, by getting into the events and the life cycle of Scrum, and experience and learn. So yeah, right, that's
Yeah,
the best part.
yeah, it's about 360-degree learning, right? So you are learning by yourself, by actually responding to the situation and scenarios that are provided. Then you would see your peers acting on it as well. That means you are trying to understand from them, learn from them. Then of course there are facilitators who are there to provide their inputs to see how it can be better. So that means you are learning from all sides, by looking at people, by hearing from people, by experiencing yourself, right? And from that, I think we have one question here. Maybe Sanjay, you can take this question from Venkatesh. Where do you think is the trigger for and implementation of transformation in an organization? Of course, it's not related to the discussion we have, but maybe it's a question you can answer, Sanjay.
Yeah, I can talk through it, right? So a lot of times, what makes an organization jump into this one, right? So uh, now it's like no choice, right? If you look at organizations are probably they are peer pressure to get into agile ways of doing things, right? So there are many otherwise challenges which they are trying to see whether agile is a means to resolving those challenges, right? So the competition is massive, right? I mean, the changes are so many. The kind of situations which we are right now in, we want organizations to build those capabilities to respond to those challenges, right? And now, Nivarti, I think we see that, okay, it's not only just responding to the various changes, but it's like proactively making dent in the market to lead those challenges, right? So all of these are broader reasons for organizations trigger for transformation, right? And so, I mean, it comes in various guises also, right? I mean, we call it as a digital transformation, is very closely aligned to agile transformation, business agility, enterprise agility. Various different names are given to these transformation, but then the reasons are what I just kind of broadly painted a picture of.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Venkatesh, again, to add to that, one trigger could be the market need, market demand, and, other peer pressure, as Sanjay was mentioning, and the third one is more about customer demand, that the client wants an organization to deliver in agile, especially for service companies. That's also a need, right? Then disruption, and recently I went through McKinsey's research report, that disruption cycle is shortening quite a bit. Becomes This means the disruption is coming faster and faster. We used to say change is the only constant. Probably very shortly, disruption will be the only constant. So if you are able to really manage disruption, that means you need to really really about how you manage that disruption, right? Definitely yes. And if you want to really know more about this particular question, I would recommend you go ahead and look at my YouTube channel. There are two videos on why you should transform as an organization, what reasons you can look for, and what reasons you should not look for if you are looking at transforming organizations. So that should definitely answer you again. Okay. Thank you for posing that question, Venkatesh. Any other questions? Feel free. We are here to answer. It doesn't matter whether it is on the topic right now or not. So whatever we can help. Yeah, going further, I think continuing with that conversation. So one of the questions that always comes up and we look to address, Sanjay, is what's in it for me, right? So what do you think is in it for the collaborators who should be part of this program? What's in it for them?
Yeah. So again, I think this is another thing which we deliberately wanted to think about and be clear about right from the beginning, right? So I think, Nivarti, we kind of have that we created something that we
Yeah.
want to build competency, right, for the Scrum Masters, right? So it would be adding their capabilities, right? So I mean, there'll be skills and knowledge building as well, and then they will become maybe better change agent, right? I think we want Scrum Masters to be enabled to build that visibility in the organization, being a change agent which is respected and which is valued as well, right? So that will be something which is represented here. you'll collaborate. So you'll create a network, right? You'll create a network of other practitioners, something you can go and continue to work with, right? I mean, you learn from them as a part of this program, but then you continue beyond this program as well, right? And then you will definitely get coaching and mentoring as a part of from the experienced people, right? So some of these which I could see that, and hopefully all of these kind of broadly, these cover all the bases, right? I mean, what people would look for uh, from this program, right? But we would be interested to hear, and Nivarti, I'm just asking that question, right? What else would you like to be included in this list, right? What else might be your objective in addition to what we have already shared? That will be interesting question to ask and get inputs for.
Absolutely. I think that is part of the nomination form questions as
Oh,
well.
yeah. Okay.
That is one of the questions for sure as to what is your expectation from the program, right? So that's one thing we definitely want to understand. What is the motivator? Why they are, wanting to be part of the program? So definitely yes, and that is something we should look at as well to understand more than what we have, looked at so far. And maybe Vihal, coming back to you again. So how are you looking at this program? We also talked about, with your experience and Sandeep's experience, talking about what can be useful for a Scrum Master in terms of the tools, the templates. So what are your thoughts around those?
Yeah, definitely. So, what I can say at this point is this particular workshop would be one of the ways to leverage the power of collaboration, right? We would be collaborating with so many. We are talking about 30 collaborators at the same time, and it also includes us there. So all of us collaborating, bringing in different types of thoughts, bringing in different culture altogether. People collaborating on that, and in a way you learn from others' experiences in this. And as part of this workshop, we have designed it in such a way that we'll be having different case studies. Those case studies will help us in practical learning rather than just bookish kind of or a lecture kind of learning, right? And people will also get a chance to open up about their experiences here, share about their thoughts, and bring so much on the table that that we'll be able to make this workshop even more successful that way. And if I talk about from the tools and templates perspective, definitely this is a very good learning opportunity. A lot of tools which people might not be aware of at this time, or they are new to this world, they to the Scrum world, basically to the Agile world. They want to establish themselves. They can come in, learn about these new tools, experience these new tools, go back to their organization, try and implement those tools there, and this can also help their organization excel with the help of these learnings and these tools. So, and if I talk about the templates, definitely these templates which we'll be publishing here can be guidelines for people who want to take up this Scrum Master role in future, or they are already working as Scrum Master and they want to you know uh, 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 excel in their role, and they want to actually bring in more value to their
That's right.
organization and maximize the value in that way. So yeah, I will say in that way our workshop is definitely going to be helpful there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Nivarti, I would like to just add a little bit, right?
Yes.
So, Vishal kind of summarized it very well, right? So, this is a practical program, right? Again, it's like, yeah, theory is valuable, right? I mean, we should not discount the theory, but then
Yeah.
it's a practice. I mean, that's where the rubber meets the road, right? So, you talked about Nivarti 360 degree learning, right? So, it's like a 360-degree Scrum Master also, right? Meaning, okay, what are the tools and techniques could be accelerator to the Scrum Master establishing himself within the team, and through the life cycle of the Scrum also, right? What all things could be uh, something which Scrum Master would need to have in his kitty or her kitty to be effective Scrum Master, right? So I think we'll share some of those from our experience. we will facilitate learning from each other also, right? So we will learn, we will make sure you all learn from each other as well, right? So I think together we'll create something valuable, right? So just wanted to add
Absolutely.
that.
I
So
think we would be co-creating a lot of stuff
as a to
because,
Right.
yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so as a just a few more inputs. So even I wanted to extend that learnings, like, so 30 more people are joining from a 30 different organizations, from a 30 different domains, I would say. So we get to know the different experience of how they look into the challenges at their ground, right? We may not be aware about how they what type of challenges they face and how they recovered up and how they come up with those challenges. So those learnings will be a great for all these 30, I would say 32 participants now, because me and Vihal will be again two
Right.
new learners in
Yeah.
addition to the 30 collaborators, right? So it is a great learning to hear all the experiences from a different 30 people. So it is a
Right.
really good platform to hear the experiences from a different people. As a
Hmm.
pair programming, I would say it's a pair education and pair learning.
Right. Wonderful.
Absolutely. And Rodana, thank you for joining us from Abu Dhabi. Nice to have you here.
Welcome. Yeah.
Welcome to our discussion. Okay, so moving on to the next question, or we also wanted to touch upon, since we are going to spend about 10 sprints with them, about 30 people, we also have some expectation because there is a lot involved in terms of effort from our side, but there would be a lot involved in terms of effort from their side as well, right?
Right.
So maybe Rohan, you can talk us through this particular, element of what we are expecting them to bring to the table. If they want to really nominate themselves to be part of the program itself, so that we understand and we really like them to understand what they are committing to, because we
Mm.
Right.
don't want people to join and then say, hey, possibly I didn't know this is what I was supposed to do, or I was supposed to spend this much time on the program, because it will
Yeah.
take some effort, correct?
Absolutely. And, in fact, me, Vihal, and Sandeep were discussing it before 2 hours from now. Right? We thought, hey, just, come together and talk about it. And interestingly, the commitment part here is part of the Scrum values. So, if a Scrum Master would want to create a change or, make a difference in the organization or for self, commitment would be the, I think, first value which would come up, and then the rest will follow. So the commitment is would be very important from the participants, and that is what would be expected, right? When the participants fill in the form, I believe the thought process behind that, hey, can I commit to 5 hours, going to the second pointer here, right? So can I commit to 5 hours in a week, and will I be able to give that time, right? Because we all are professionals, even you're seeing in the live session, but a thought, and when we discuss that, let's bring in the change, right, with this role. A role of a scrum master is misled into organizations, thinking from a delivery manager, delivery lead perspective, where they are looked as project managers to orchestrate the deliveries, right? But that is not the case. So, if we want to change that, if we want to get to the next level and get the organization to the next level, commitment would be a lot important, right? And again, collaboration, I believe, the key to collaboration is, this is from your last live session, Nivarti, being comfortable to be vulnerable, right? So what you should bring to this workshop is comfortable being vulnerable, and say that, hey, I don't know this, right? Or I want to learn this more, right? Ask those leading questions to other participants, right? If the participant or the learner is ready to be vulnerable, and that would accelerate the collaboration factor, right? And a following with empathy, having empathy for others, respectful for others, being proactive, productive. I think everything, is in the Scrum values in itself, right? So commitment, focus, respect, and you are there.
Absolutely. And just to add, please come with curious mind. So don't just hold yourself back. So come with curiosity, ask questions, push people, challenge people, and that's how we all will learn. So be comfortable being uncomfortable. So that's what we would like to say. Definitely, if you are looking to be part of the program. So almost, I think now we're coming to kind of the last stage of the program. So here is the link to the nomination form in the chat. It would be on YouTube and on LinkedIn. We will try and publish that chat again. So on YouTube, if you want to look at uh, that particular link, or you also want to look at our own channel, you can always try and look. So that's a channel we all contribute to, and there is lot of videos on transformation, and whatever sessions we'll be conducting, we are planning to put that on that channel as well. So if you haven't subscribed it or not visited the channel, this is the time to go and look at it. On the link, nomination forms would be open. You can try and look at it, and if you have any questions, any doubts, please reach out to us on LinkedIn or on YouTube, wherever you want to reach out, and we'll be able to answer the questions. On LinkedIn, we have a page called Unlearning Studio. So please follow the page, and if you have any questions, any difficulties in accessing the nomination form, or if you have any questions around the nomination itself, watch the video. If your question is still not answered, please feel free to reach out to us. So, as passing comments, anybody wants to add any last minute thoughts here? I'm pretty excited, of course.
Yeah, I'm as well, Nivarti, right? And I think a couple of things, right? When we talked about the expectations from our participants, right? So we say that, okay, yeah, this is a program which is run by agile practitioners, coaches, so it will be fun, but there is a seriousness with that, right? So we call it as a fun with seriousness, right? So that is how it'll run, right? So that's one part of it. And then other one, and I think just quote came to my mind, so I'm just sharing it, right? Is that we say that, right? And quite often we hear that in kind of Zen parlance, right? That you find a teacher and the student is ready, right? So are you ready? Are you ready, student, is my question, right? So it's like that, right? So those are the things which I wanted to say, Nivarti, right? Just adding that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that wisdom, Sanjay. Always you tend to add the silver lining at the end for sure. Yes, we all
Okay.
are.
Yeah,
Sandeep,
I would like to add something on the power of collaboration. One thought comes to my mind is that together we can and we will make a difference. So that's the power of collaboration, I would say. And
Wonderful.
that's what we are going to do in the upcoming sessions, right? So
Great.
thank you, Vihal. Wonderful again. Nice quote. Together we can and we'll make it happen. Yes, Rohan, Sandeep, any last comments?
I'm
So no,
really
it's
excited to be a part of.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rohan. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was thinking about the same, right? To team. So we are a team, and the idea is to form, enable the Scrum Master and Agile coaches to form the teams. Enable the teams, make them stronger and stronger, and make the organization, the best, right? Which can deliver the end value to the customer, right? And everyone talks in the organization about value. I think that would be the ultimate goal from this workshop, and together everyone achieves more. So a team, that's the full form of team, right? So looking forward, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
same here.
Sandeep, any last comments?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of such initiatives, right? Means we can read most of the things on the Google, but the live hands-on, the scenario-based training is really important to get more and more knowledge, to get and more and more perception from the all the individual contributors. So really excited to hear all the experiences from all 30 contributors.
Okay, wonderful. So everyone, the link is here. Venkatesh, thanks for joining again. Some questions and thanks for your time. For Rodana as well and others who are going to look at this post the live transmission. Please, you look into the YouTube channel, or if you're on Facebook, you can look into the Facebook page of Agile Scanner, and on LinkedIn, we will post the link on the Unlearning Studio page as well as the live replay that you would be watching in the comments. So please go ahead and nominate yourself. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.